Stop whatever you think you know about foldables, because this year the match is different. Samsung just slimmed down its Z Fold to feel like a miracle of engineering, while Google quietly built a foldable that actually survives real life. Water, dust, long days, and even borrowed iPhone accessories. By the end of this video, I'll tell you which one I'd buy, which one actually fits in real pockets, and one small detail most reviewers are missing that could change your decision. Stick around. I'll reveal that final pick after a real pocket test and an unexpected cost trade-off that matters more than raw specs. Which wins, the ultra-slim showpiece or the rugged, long-lasting daily driver? Keep watching. In this video, we'll break this down into practical chapters: design and feel, displays and outdoor usability, performance and on-device AI, camera real-world results, battery life and charging, and, crucial, real price versus value. I'll give a clear decision framework so you can pick the phone that actually matches your life: commuting, travel, content creation, or pure flex. If you only care about one thing, I'll put that top line at the end so you don't have to hunt for it. Stay until the end for my final verdict and the pocket test. The winner surprised me. Let's start where you touch the phone. Samsung's Z Fold 7 is the engineering flex. Dramatically thinner than its predecessor and shockingly light for a foldable. Folded it measures 8.9 millimeters and unfolds to 4.2 millimeters, and it weighs about 215 grams. That thinness gives it a premium hand feel and a confidence you notice the first time you slide it into a pocket. It's the kind of device that looks like it shouldn't be foldable until you fold it. Google's Pixel 10 Pro Fold took a different route. It's thicker and heavier, not by accident, but by design. The Pixel packs more ingress protection and a sturdier hinge, and Google's first real IP68 foldable construction means it's rated to resist dust and survive submersion. That IP68 is a practical feature. Dust is the enemy of foldables, and having that seal changes the long-term ownership story. The Pixel's folded thickness and weight are clearly a compromise for durability, and that trade-off matters when you actually use the phone outdoors or around sand, food, or the occasional puddle. Aesthetically, Samsung gives you more colors and a sleeker silhouette, while Google keeps a minimal palette and a more rugged aesthetic. Which matters more? If you pocket your phone and hate bulky silhouettes, the Z Fold 7 is the sexy pick. If you drop your phone, take it to the beach, or want peace of mind when you're out and about, the Pixel's IP rating and build are huge practical wins. Thin and pretty versus tougher and practical. Next up, brightness, and how these phones behave in direct sun. Both phones open into an impressive 8-inch canvas for multitasking, but the details change the daily experience. Samsung's cover screen is slightly larger and has shifted to a wider aspect ratio that feels closer to a normal phone when folded. In short, less awkward for one-handed use. The Fold 7's displays are dynamic AMOLED 2X, and Samsung claims peaks around 2,600 nits for the panels. Google counters with Super Actua Flex OLED panels that push peak brightness claims up to 3,000 nits on HDR content, which gives the Pixel a real advantage when you're outdoors trying to read maps, shoot with the camera, or watch videos in direct sunlight. In practice, that brightness gap means the Pixel's screen is easier to rely on outside on sunny days. Not just a spec win, but a usability win. Now the crease. Samsung has invested in a titanium lattice and tougher ultra-thin glass in an effort to reduce the visible fold line. And you can see that improvement in side-by-side close-ups. Google still shows some fold line presence from earlier models, which matters if you prefer a perfectly flat canvas for drawing or pro-level photo editing. But for most people, brightness and sunlight legibility will have a stronger day-to-day impact than the crease itself. Finally, both displays support 120 Hz for smooth scrolling and animations. If your focus is creative work or content consumption outdoors, Pixel's brighter panels give it the edge. If you want a slightly more practical cover screen experience folded up, Samsung's design will feel more natural. Brightness and crease. Next, we'll test raw speed and the subtle ways software changes day to day. On paper, Samsung took the brute force route. The Z Fold 7 runs Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy, a 3nm class chip tuned for high clock speeds, and Samsung offers configurations with up to 16 GB of RAM for the top models. That translates into blazing benchmarks and the kind of sustained performance gamers and power users prize. Google's Pixel 10 Pro Fold uses Tensor G5, also built on a 3nm process. But Google historically pairs hardware with deep software optimizations and AI features. Google claims big gains in AI performance, better on-device language and image models, and that translates into features like Magic Q, Instant View, and Gemini-driven context that surface useful info without hunting through apps. So, what does that mean for you? If you live in benchmarks, edit 4K clips on-device, or want maximal gaming throughput, Samsung's raw horsepower wins. If you prefer contextual smarts, automatic suggestions, on-device AI that summarizes, drafts messages, or enhances photos in real time, the Pixel's software-first approach is compelling. Also remember RAM and storage tiers matter. Google standardizes high RAM on many configs while Samsung reserves the top memory for premium SKUs, so check the model spec closely. Now, the part people actually care about most: cameras. Which phone takes better photos when it counts? This category is where marketing numbers meet real life. Samsung has made a bold statement by packing its 200-megapixel main sensor, the same class-leading camera used on the Galaxy S25 Ultra, into the Z Fold 7 rear array. That gives Samsung huge native resolution and flexibility for cropping or high-detail shots. Google's Pixel 10 Pro Fold leans on smaller but proven sensors and its computational photography stack. The Pixel's main camera hardware sits lower on paper, historically a 48-megapixel main on previous Pixel Folds. But Google's software processing, better night algorithms, and new Camera Coach features help stabilize video and guide the user to better shots. In practical A/B tests, you'll notice Samsung's images have more raw detail and are often more vivid straight out of camera in daylight. Pixel's strengths appear in low light, handling tricky highlights, and delivering consistently pleasing skin tones and HDR. Video stabilization and the Pixel's camera tutor tools can make it easier to get steady footage if you're not a seasoned shooter. If your priority is maximum resolution and cropping for pro workflows, Samsung's 200-megapixel sensor is a serious plus. If you want consistent social-ready photos and helpful software that makes you look better without finger crossing, Pixel's computational edge is the real-world win. Cameras decided a lot, but battery life and charging will decide even more for daily users. Don't skip the next section. The battery is the most boring and most important part of a phone, and here Google pushes ahead. The Pixel 10 Pro Fold packs a larger cell, around 5,015 mAh in Google's materials and marketing, and Google promotes extended day usage and multi-day capability with power-saving modes. Samsung's Z Fold 7 uses a 4,400 mAh battery, which is competitive but smaller on paper. In real-world testing depends on your usage pattern. Gaming and heavy multitasking favors Samsung's efficiency-tuned chipset and software, but for general mixed use, maps, messages, photos, calls, and some streaming, the Pixel's larger battery gives it a clear endurance advantage. Charging speeds are similar in daily feel. Pixel offers around 30 watts wired charging and improved wireless with Pixel Snap Qi 2 compatibility. Samsung's Fold 7 supports roughly 25 watts wired and similar wireless speeds. An interesting accessory note: Pixel's Pixel Snap magnetic system opens the Pixel to a wider range of magnetic wireless accessories, including some iPhone-style MagSafe gear, which is a practical ecosystem advantage if you already own magnetic stands or chargers. Samsung doesn't have an equivalent seamless cross-ecosystem magnetic accessory as of launch. Battery and accessories tilt the practical case. Next, price, and whether that $200 difference actually matters. Let's talk money, because cost changes the math fast. Google launched the Pixel 10 Pro Fold at roughly $1,799 for base configurations, while Samsung's Z Fold 7 begins closer to $1,999 or higher depending on sales and storage. That's about a $200 delta at launch. What does that $200 get you? With Samsung, you're paying for the thinnest, lightest, foldable experience, the most powerful on-paper GPU and CPU combo, and the highest resolution camera hardware, the kind of phone that screams flagship. With Google, you pay for durability IP68, longer battery life, strong display brightness, and more AI smarts and practical features that improve everyday life. Who should pick which? If you want the absolute premium flex phone, the one that looks futuristic in photos and pushes benchmark limits, Samsung is the pick. If you want more practical longevity, better water and dust protection, brighter outdoor viewing, and a slightly friendlier price with the Pixel AI experience, go Pixel. For frequent travelers, parents, or outdoorsy users, Pixel's durability and battery life often become the decisive factors. One more real-world test is coming, the Pocket test and my personal pick. You'll want to see which one actually disappears in jeans. Time for the moment of truth. I did a real pocket test. Slim pants, cargo pocket, and a jacket pocket. The Z Fold 7 slides into a slim jeans pocket with less notice. It feels like a large phone that somehow behaves. The Pixel is bulkier but stable and reassuringly sealed. It fit, but your slim pants will feel it. If you prize pocket stealth and theatrical wow factor, pick the Z Fold 7. If you prize worry-free real-world use, rain, dust, long flights, and a longer battery, pick the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. And yes, Pixel's magnetic Pixel Snap made airport charging a lot less awkward. My personal pick after 2 weeks of mixed use. I'd choose the Pixel 10 Pro Fold for daily use. Not because it's weaker, but because I'm more likely to keep a phone longer if it survives sand, rain, and marathon travel days without anxiety. That IP68 rating and the extra battery life are the quiet features that compound into months of better ownership. If you want a quick shorthand, buy the Z Fold 7 if you want flagship spectacle and maximum raw power. Buy the Pixel 10 Pro Fold if you want practical, durable, smarter daily driver, and a bit more battery life for the money. Which side are you on? Type power if you'd pick Samsung or practical if you'd pick Pixel. I'll pin the best comment and read the most interesting arguments in the next video. If you want, I'll also post a behind-the-scenes pocket and camera comparison B-roll. Say the word and I'll upload it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this helps. There's a compact follow-up coming where I test both phones against real travel conditions. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.